on the move, looking, throws, end zone, touchdown!
We'll say it once and we'll say it a billion times. Quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. So when looking across the league, you can almost break down which division's going to be the toughest, all based on the QBs that are starting. Dog days of the NFL offseason are finally behind us. Teams are now in the midst of preseason play as they try to figure out their final 53-man rosters and starting lineups come week 1. As always, each team's success, or lack thereof, in 2023 will largely come down to the quarterback play. With that said, let's dive into our annual pre-week 1 rankings of all 8 NFL divisions based on their quarterbacks from worst to first.
Phase 1 specifically to kind of, just build your team, what you want to be about is.
Number 8, NFC South. With Tom Brady retired, the NFC South is unquestionably the worst division for QBs in the NFL, even with the New Orleans Saints upgrading by snagging 4-time Pro Bowler Derek Carr in free agency. With a wealth of playmakers at his disposal, Carr could very well have the best statistical season of his career. But this is also a 32-year-old veteran who is at best a borderline top 15 quarterback. The Atlanta Falcons are giving 2022 third-round pick Desmond Ridder first dibs as a starter. The guy with 4 career starts under his belt. So if Ridder isn't the guy, Arthur Smith will turn to free agent signing Taylor Heineke, whose ceiling is that of a quality backup or low-end starter, depending on how you want to look at it. The Carolina Panthers are rolling with first overall pick Bryce Young. Will he be the rare rookie QB who knocks it out of the park right away, or will Young struggle early and often like most first-year signal callers? Stay tuned. And we don't pity the Bucs QB depth chart. With Brady gone and with limited cap space, they had to take a flyer on Baker Mayfield and have him compete with 2021 second-round pick Kyle Trask. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Number 7, AFC South. Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars is a budding star, having led his team to the division crown and to within a game of conference championship appearance in 2022. The next step for the first overall pick of 2021 is to put it together for a full year and show that he belongs in the upper echelon of NFL QBs along with Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, etc. With the QB whiz and Doug Peterson and a deep set of playmakers around him, we have no doubt that Lawrence will once again be the class of AFC South quarterbacks in the 2023 season. After Lawrence, you got a middle-of-the-road guy in Ryan Tannehill. His play is always inconsistent, but his 36-19-0 record since joining the Tennessee Titans kind of speaks for itself. But if Tannehill gets injured or struggles out of the gate, Tennessee will give rookie Will Levis a shot. Widely projected to be a top 10 pick, the Kentucky product inexplicably fell down to the Titans at number 33 overall. The Houston Texans have second-round overall pick CJ Stroud and the incumbent Davis Mills. Considering the limited amount of talent on Houston's offense, we're not sure if Stroud or Mills will be able to do a whole lot this year. This is definitely going to be a learning year for the ex-Buckeye one way or another. The Indianapolis Colts use the number 4 pick on the ultimate boomer bust product in Anthony Richardson, so if he doesn't start, they'll probably go with ex-Jaguar starter Gardner Minshew, who actually has proven to be one of the game's more reliable backups. Number 6, NFC West. Geno Smith, the 2022 Comeback Player of the Year, is coming off a career season. The Seahawks used a first-round pick on Jackson Smith and Jigba to complement the already scary offensive arsenal of DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and running back Kenneth Walker. We aren't worried about Smith and Seattle's QB situation. Kyle Shanahan can make it work with most quarterbacks. I mean, hey, we've seen it. But is Brock Purdy 100% after undergoing surgery on a torn UCL? And is he actually the real deal, or was it all just beginner's luck in 2022? A year ago, Matthew Stafford was a top 10 NFL QB and coming off a Super Bowl 56 championship, but injuries limited him to 9 games a year ago, and he had just 10 touchdowns against 8 interceptions. So, how much does Stafford really have left entering his age 35 season? The cap-strapped Los Angeles Rams couldn't upgrade the supporting cast around him, so yeah, that too is pretty concerning. Over in Arizona, the Cardinals will open the season without Kyler Murray as he continues to recover from surgery on a torn ACL that he suffered late last year. Until then, the Cardinals are leaning on career journeyman and backup Colt McCoy, so we'll see how that goes. Number 5, NFC North. This was kind of a tough one to rank. Aaron Rodgers no longer resides in the NFC North, having been traded to the New York Jets after going back and forth on retirement. That's pretty dang good news for Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago. And to be determined news for the Green Bay Packers. What does 2020 first-rounder Jordan Love have to show? With only one NFL start under his belt, it's really too early to forecast. He is truly the great unknown. And love or hate Kirk Cousins, but the man puts up big-time numbers. Since 2019, the Vikings signal caller has thrown for the 3rd most passing yards and the 5th most touchdowns. Were the Vikings a fluke last year in one-score games? Yeah, absolutely. But Cousins doesn't have to apologize for leading the team to 13 wins. Maybe he won't win a Super Bowl on this snake-bitten organization, but he is definitely not the problem here. Jared Goff had a fantastic second season with the Lions. Now we get to see if he's for real or not. Not having Jameson Williams for the final 6 games due to suspension is pretty worrisome, but Goff also did well without the ex-Alabama star for most of last year, so he should be fine. Justin Fields surpassed 1,000 yards rushing in Chicago last year, but left a lot to be desired as a passer. But the arrival of DJ Moore and a full year of Chase Claypool, coupled with former 1,000-yard wideout Darnell Mooney, certainly gives us reason for optimism. Having prized rookie Darnell Wright on that O-line is a promising start too. If Fields' pass protection improves, he could very well be the ultimate breakout quarterback of 2023. Number 4, NFC East. Jalen Hurts would have likely won MVP honors if he played the full season. Despite outplaying MVP winner Patrick Mahomes in Super Bowl 57, Hurts got no help from the Eagles' D, as they went on to drop a heartbreaker 38-35. Hurts is, at worst, the 5th best QB in the game. We have no reason to think that he'll regress with the league's best O-line, a dynamic rushing game, plus the Devontae Smith-AJ Brown duo at his disposal. He is gonna be a star for years to come. Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys doesn't need much of an introduction. His stats are Pro Bowl caliber every year. But the question remains, is he good enough to get this team to the Super Bowl, or at least to their first conference championship appearance since 1995? Daniel Jones had a breakout season and a make-or-break year under first-year head coach Brian Daboll, and Jones turned that into a massive $160 million extension over 4 years. With Darren Waller and Jalen Hyatt joining the offense, Jones has the pieces in place to improve as a passer. Leading the Giants to within a game of the NFC Championship last year, expectations are much higher entering 2023. And then there's Sam Howell. The Washington Commanders parted ways with Carson Wentz and Taylor Heineke, having grown ultra confident in Howell even though he's got just one NFL appearance on his resume. Look, if Howell wasn't such an unknown, we would consider having this division higher. But overall, the NFC East has it good with QBs. 2 top 10 signal callers in Hurts and Prescott, a serviceable starter in Jones, and then the one big unknown in Howell. All in all, pretty good. Number 3, AFC North. We shouldn't be shocked if the AFC North asserted itself as the king of quarterbacks across every division next year. Really, it's almost a toss-up within the top 3 here. Joe Burrow is arguably the league's next best QB after Patrick Mahomes, having led the Cincinnati Bengals to consecutive AFC championship games. With 69 touchdowns and 9,086 passing yards over the last 2 seasons, Burrow has placed himself in the conversation for the league's best player. And we could ramble on about the fancy stats of Baltimore Ravens QB Lamar Jackson, or we could simply point out that Baltimore is 45-16-0 in games he started since 2018. Without Jackson, yeah, it gets a lot uglier. The Ravens have a new OC in Todd Monken, and they added Odell Beckham Jr., Nelson Aguilar, and rookie Zay Flowers in the pass-catching unit. We know Lamar can rush for 1,000, but does he take it a step further as a passer? If so, then watch out. There will be no containing this offense. Kenny Pickett's stats as a rookie weren't exactly promising, but the Pittsburgh Steelers won 7 of his 12 starts. That is a promising sign for the 2022 first-rounder, who really has nowhere to go but up with a full year of experience out of the way. We also have a hard time thinking that Pickett can disappoint with a supporting cast led by Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, rising star George Pickens, and Pat Freiermuth. And what if Allen turns back the clock and returns to his pre-2022 form? Bottom line, we expect big things for Pickett. Deshaun Watson had an ugly 6-game stint as the Cleveland Browns starter after serving his 11-game suspension, so he has nowhere to go but up. And the arrivals of Elijah Moore and Cedric Tillman do give Watson much better pass-catching depth to throw to. There it is, 4 legitimate playoff contenders, including 2 bona fide Super Bowl contenders, with 3 established, youngish QBs and a potential future star in Pickett. This is a wealthy division in terms of quarterback play. Number 2, AFC West. The AFC West would be number 1 on this list if we didn't have questions on Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs is the best player in football. That is not up for debate. Look at the 2 rings, pair of MVP awards, and his 64-16-0 regular season record. Then come back to us. Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Rams is arguably a top 5 QB in the game too. He's transformed the Bolts back into a consistent playoff contender. It only feels like a matter of time until he wins MVP honors. But will the Chargers stop, chargering and actually do something in the postseason? That right there is honestly the biggest concern. Wilson's first year with the Denver Broncos was horrible. He had 16 touchdowns against 11 interceptions and took a league-high 55 sacks despite missing 2 games. That said, he can't possibly be worse. The Broncos signed Ben Powers and ex-49er star Mike McGlinchey to improve the O-line, and the arrival of future Hall of Famer Sean Payton should do wonders for Dangerous. At the very least, Payton is an upgrade over Nathaniel Hackett. But will Wilson return to that all-world play and justify the $245 million extension the Broncos handed him last year? If he does, maybe the AFC West will be the premier division for NFL QBs again. The Las Vegas Raiders curiously cut Derek Carr and replaced him with the oft-injured Jimmy Garoppolo. Yes, he went to 1 Super Bowl and 2 NFC title games as the 49ers' main starting QB, but is Garoppolo actually above average, or is he a product of Kyle Shanahan's ultra QB-friendly system? Garoppolo does have familiarity with Josh McDaniels dating back to their time together in New England. He's got a deep set of playmakers at his disposal, but can Jimmy G stay healthy and actually flourish outside of San Fran? Well, if not, the Raiders will be eyeing a new quarterback in the first round of next year's draft. Number 1, AFC East. Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills is a top 5 QB himself. The passing and rushing numbers are good, but it's time to actually deliver a Lombardi trophy to Orchard Park. That is all Buffalo fans want now. The New York Jets finally don't have to worry about crappy quarterback play, not after trading for 4-time league MVP Aaron Rodgers, who is going to do wonders throwing to Garrett Wilson, McCole Hardman, and old pals Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb. Hey, welcome to the AFC, A-Rod. It was a true shame that 3 head-related injuries limited Tua Tagovailoa's time on the field in 2022. He missed 4 games and the club's close playoff loss to the Bills. Did you know that he had the league's best QB rating for 2022 at a 105.5? And that he led the league in yards per completion at 13.7. Mike McDaniel fully unlocked Tua time and made him a superstar with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill as Miami's go-to playmakers. Tua is 21-13-0 as a starter in this league. If he can stay healthy, fingers crossed, the Dolphins are a Super Bowl contender. And he'll be a dark horse for MVP honors. An ankle injury and Bill Belichick's ridiculous decision to make Matt Patricia and Joe Judge the co-offensive play callers in 2022 led to a dismal sophomore year for Mac Jones. The good news? Belichick brought back Bill O'Brien to serve as the OC. I mean, a literal pylon would have been better than Patricia and Judge in that position, but B.O.B. is actually well suited for his role. And he should help Jones return to that Pro Bowl form that we saw as a rookie. Not sure if the Pats are true Super Bowl contenders, but Jones will be, at worst, a top 20 QB in the league next season. We think. But which NFL division do you think has the best quarterbacks entering 2023? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.